You are listening to the Next Play podcast, the playbook for high-performing leaders who want to exceed their full potential. From walking on the Ole Miss football team at 5'7", 150 pounds and earning a full D1 scholarship, to coaching thousands around the world and working with massive organizations like IBM. I've learned countless lessons that I'll be sharing right here with you. Join me as I interview some of the most successful people so you too can learn how to focus on always moving forward by deciding, planning, and executing on the next play relentlessly. All right, good morning. What's going on, everybody? It is beautiful and sunny here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is yours truly, Richie Contartesi. Excited to be here with you all today. Today, as you can see on my screen, we're going to be talking about how to make a morning routine for maximum joy that will stick. All right. So maybe you've made a morning routine in the past that's been really good, or that hasn't been good, or you've tried to stick with it, but it's fallen apart. And so today I want to talk about a morning routine that you can create for yourself for maximum joy, right? At the end of the day, freedom, joy, and wake up every day excited and crushing the day versus starting the day with negativity. And that you'll actually be able to stick to, right? So if you've made a morning routine in the past and you haven't been able to stick to it, I'm going to share with you exactly why. So we're going to be talking about what it does for you, when to do it, how it increases joy and productivity, how to do it at night, and then a 3-step morning routine that you can use. 3 steps. That is it. It doesn't need to be super complicated. Literally 3 steps, and that's all you need. So real quick, next week, we are going to be moving to Zoom. So we're going to be moving to Zoom, a little bit of a shift, but I believe it's going to be a much, much better experience. So expect that next week. I'll be sending y'all an email the morning of, and you'll see how to access it. It's very similar, just a little bit easier of a navigation for everybody. So here's a quote by Hal Elrod, actually somebody I met about 6 years ago, and I read his book called The Morning Miracle. During that time, he's released many books since then, but his first book, Morning Miracle, is really powerful, and I read it, and then I got to meet him, and I was like super stoked. And his quote here is, "Focused, productive, successful mornings generate focused, productive, successful days, which inevitably create a successful life." That's really powerful, and that's what a morning routine can do. And you know it, and if this is not you right now, you're waking up, you're checking your phone right away, you're immediately into negativity, you're living on your kids, your spouse, your colleagues' terms, and not yours. So that we're going to shift the focus, and you're going to start living now on your terms. Yes, on your terms. So replacing the negativity. So let's talk about that real quick. Replacing the negativity. So what you do in the morning is you probably check your email. You probably check your texts. You probably, focused on everything except for yourself, right? You're focused on like the messages you're getting, your spouse, your kids, your colleagues. Everything is what you're seeing first thing in the morning except for you, right? You're probably waking up, you're probably looking right at your phone and seeing where you're at, seeing where your notifications at, hopping into Facebook, hopping into your text messages, right? You're hopping into all of these things that really don't matter, right? And that's not important to you. That's not like what's going to get you to an end goal, right? And so I want to be clear that as we jump into this, there's no such thing as a perfect routine, okay? And that's something really important, because so many people get paralyzed by this, so they don't do it, or they create one that's so insane they can't stick to. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we need to replace the negativity. That's why this is so, so important, is we're going to replace the negativity. The perfect time. The perfect time. You hear this all the time. Everyone's like, wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Wake up at 6 in the morning. Wake up. There is no perfect time, okay? Because I know plenty of people who are extremely productive in the evening. I'm not one of them. I am a morning person, so I do the things in the morning. But that I used to be like, oh, you got to get up earlier. No, you need to learn yourself. You need to see when you're most productive. If you're most productive in the evenings, then we got to create your schedule around that. And your morning routine doesn't matter, just has to be consistent, right? You just have to find a time and be consistent. So there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time. Well, Richie, there's got to be. No, there is no perfect time because it depends on you. I'm going to share with you at the very end my morning routine. And I'm actually also going to share Tony Robbins' morning routine. It's insane. But you don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. The most important thing with the time is that you're consistent. The most important thing with the time is that you are consistent. So what will it do? I want to jump into this really quick. What will it do? Hold on, let's okay, so increasing your joy and productivity, right? This is like, productivity is important, joy is important. It's one thing we're all after, right? People say happiness, but we want to go on a deeper level. We're going to talk about joy. But here's a couple things that are really important to understand. Number one, you're going to feel better. You're just going to feel better. You know what I mean? Think about it. When you go right to social, okay, so you're getting a dopamine hit from your notifications. Okay, whatever. When you hit snooze, you're starting your day with procrastination, right? It's a very bad habit. You're starting your day with it, and it's going to trickle down, and you're going to feel bad about it, right? It's like this massive negative trend downwards. But what else? It increases your productivity. Why does it increase your productivity? Because when you start with something completed, which we'll talk about in a second, you're going to want to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? It reduces your stress levels. That's crazy. Studies have shown it reduces your stress levels. It grounds you, right? And you start every day with a finished task. Now, there was a really, really good commencement speech. There was a Navy SEAL. I can't remember his name. And that was what his whole thing was you start the day with a finished task, which will lead to another finished task and another finished task. And this is very true, right? Like psychology is very clear. And like, here's the big thing that I took away. When I read The Morning Miracle, I'm going to take a book so you don't have to read it. And I'm going to give you the summary of it, the most importance of it in one sentence. And that's that you're in control. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your colleagues, not your manager, you're in control. And that's probably the most powerful piece of all of this. Is that when you have a routine, it's you. You're in control. You start your day where you are the most powerful person in your life. Except for a higher power if that's what you believe in, right? That's fine. But it's focused on you. And that mindset shift is going to drastically make a huge impact for you. So let's talk through it, okay? Let's talk through that. Because it's like, I can't tell you enough how important it is to start off with you in control. So important. So this picture really cracks me up, the bedtime routine. But it starts with a bedtime routine, all right? You can't have a great morning if you didn't have a good routine the night before. Think about it. If you went partying the night before, how do you think your morning routine is going to go? Probably not great, right? Now, I'm not saying don't party. I'm just saying bedtime routine is really, really important. This is actually the key to having an amazing morning is your bedtime routine, all right? And you have to plan your day the night before. Like, for example, last night I was watching NFL. I had some fun, family, had a couple beers. Yeah, I had a good time, but I still went through my bedtime routine. You can't miss it, all right? And this bedtime routine is going to include structuring your day for the next day, structuring it for the next day, right? And then you simply put them on your calendar. That's it. Like the bedtime routine structure, and I'm gonna share with you a couple things, but you structure your following day with what you need to accomplish, and you get it on the calendar, and you'll see, hey, what can you accomplish in the day, what you can't accomplish in the day. All right, and that's it. We want to keep it really, really simple, but you got to know when you're gonna wake up. Your whole calendar has to be set. If it's not set, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. Now, there's a whole thing we go through on why it doesn't work. There's when you do it the night before, when you're sleeping, psychologically, you start coming up with ideas and things you can do. And so it makes a huge, huge impact. And it's really important. All right. So 3 steps. That's it. The 3-step morning routine. I want to keep this super simple. Today, I actually wanted to keep today's as simple as possible because we added that so it will stick. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, if you read the book and if you look at what people do, the biggest mistake people make is they make it so insane that they can't do it. All right. So it's 3 steps. Must be simple and straightforward, and it doesn't need to be 100 steps. Like, this is easy. There's 3 steps, 3 categories. You can call them categories, you can call them steps. Mental, emotional, and physical. It's very simple. Mental, emotional, and physical. Those are your 3 steps. All right, so let's jump right into it. Step number 1, your mental. All right, this is your mental up here. All right. Let's just keep it simple. This has to do with your mind, thoughts, beliefs, values, goals, hopes, dreams, desires, plans, right? This is like your mental upstairs. All right, so what I do and what you can do is write out your next play for the day, right? So you already did it the night before, right? But you're waking up in the morning, you're going to write your next play for the day. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it by? Okay. You could do things like look at your long-term vision. Now, I'm giving you things you can do. All right. And then you choose one. Just choose one to start. But write out your long-term vision. Write out your next play for the day. Goals are paralyzing. So maybe write them down. Maybe don't. However that works for you. Your long-term vision is going to be the end result, right? That's going to be the end result of where you're getting anyways. Review your schedule the night before that morning. Like that's your mental work. Read something that takes your mind, that's meant to build your mind, right? So really good books. Read a great article about mindset. Take a course in Relentless University. But you want to take some time to focus on your mind. I started, here it is right here. I started using this. And I've been journaling a few things. I'll share my morning with you at the end. But it's been really, really powerful. And so that's it when it comes to mental. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Really keep it simple. And so the second one is going to be your emotional morning. So we have your mental morning, your emotional morning, and this is where you can do things like express gratitude, man. Like, especially when things aren't going well, one of the best things to do is to write down what you're grateful for. And you're like, damn, okay, it's not as bad as I thought, right? What are some of the experiences when you accomplish those goals? So this is something I actually learned from someone I worked with over at Video Narrative. His name's Chris, and Chris West. And he would say, look, every time you have something that you want, I want you to write down the experiences you'll have when you get that. So for example, for you, if you get like a promotion at work, what will some of your experiences be? Like, you'll go out to a steak dinner, you'll buy a new house, what are some of the experiences that you'll have during that time? And write those out. Because when you start seeing the experiences, man, it really, really makes I'm going to remove this. It really makes a huge, huge impact on the act of feeling it, right? Like we always hear all the time, write down your goals. And I'm not saying don't write down your goals. I'm just saying when you actually are thinking about all the experiences that, switch my video. When you think about all the experiences that you'll have, you'll start to feel it, which is the next thing. So number 1, you get all these, you start talking about your experiences. What are the experiences you'll have? And number 2, what does that feel like to you? Oh, I'm excited. I'm feeling grateful. I'll give you some of the experiences that I write down for mine. I think that's important, right? So feeling confident, freedom, feeling powerful, Like, what are some of the experiences or some of the emotions that you'll feel? So, okay, your goal is to get a promotion. Your goal is to get XYZ sales. Your goal is to make a team. Okay. What are some of the experiences you'll have after you achieve that? And what do those experiences feel like? And I'm telling you, when you start internalizing it, just visualizing it isn't enough, but you have to feel it. It's really, really powerful. Richie, this is like hokey. No. This isn't hokey. This is just very simple. And then you can do things like breathing work and meditation, right? These are things you can do. You have to decide, but I'm just giving you some things that you can do for the emotional. So we have the mental, we have the emotional, all right? The third one, see if it's there we go, is the physical morning. Emotional morning, and then physical morning, all right? So first thing is, this could be a workout. It doesn't have to be a workout. It does not have to be, let me be very clear. It does not have to be a workout. Okay. I don't work out first thing in the morning. I actually work out in the lunchtime block. But you have to do something physical. So an example of this, like first thing is to get a huge cup of water and to drink that first thing in the morning. That's something that's physical. It could be going for a walk. It could be going out back and doing something in your backyard. This could be jumping into a cold pool. It could be, I don't know, something along those lines, right? Eating a good breakfast is a good one, but something physical. So we have a mental morning, we have an emotional morning, and we have a physical morning. A mental morning, an emotional morning, and a physical morning, right? And so work out, you don't have to do your workout in the morning, but something physical to get you going. Those are the three components of the morning. This can be done, like literally the one, like I'm going to share with you mine. It can be done in 10 minutes. It can be done in 5 minutes. Some people have an hour, but it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be crazy. And so I want you to keep it really, really simple. Before I jump into a couple examples, how do you not forget this? Okay. How do you create this so you don't forget it? So the way that I do it is I have a Google Calendar and I have a notification that pops up on my phone. But if you have an iPhone, you can use reminders on your iPhone. You can, I don't know, put this right by your desk. You can, however you want to do it, but you have to have a reminder somewhere to remind you. A sticker on your door, on your bathroom mirror, write it there. But you can't forget. It's consistency is the name of this game. There's no doubt about it. Consistency is the name of this game. So you don't want to forget. So here's Tony Robbins. I'm going to give you 2 examples to round this out. Here's Tony Robbins' routine. All right. This is insane. He does a breathing exercise for a minute, express gratitude for 3 minutes, experiencing connection for 3 minutes, visualize success for 3 minutes, the Osteo Strong Machine for 5 minutes, the ROM Quick Gym for 4 minutes, the sauna to cold plunge in 3 to 5 minutes, a back inversion in 2 minutes. So that is a heck of a morning routine. As you could see, it's only like 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see. So 15, 25, 20, 25, 27 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. So that's not even that long. There's a lot of crazy things going on in there. But that's just to give you an example. Like it doesn't have to be an hour long. Now it's pretty long. And I looked into some of these because I didn't even know what they were. It's pretty intense. But that's Tony Robbins. So I'll give you a quick example of what mine is. And I'm going to walk this through because like some of these things I think you can definitely implement right away and will be helpful. So I do I'm a morning person. Again, you don't have to wake up at 4:30. It's just how I have, like in my iPhone, I have it set, where it just happens every day at 4:30. That's just the way it is. I learned over the years that I'm the most productive in the morning. If you're not productive in the morning, do not wake up early. I just do my best creative work first thing in the morning. So I wake up at 4:30. I don't hit snooze and I don't look at my phone. This is something that I've spent a lot of time practicing and getting really good at, but I do not go through my messages first thing in the morning. I do not go on social first. I don't go open my phone. I don't hit snooze either. So I don't, I usually wake up before 4:30, but I don't hit snooze. I make a coffee. So I make a coffee, and since it's September or the end of September, I've been, we had this pumpkin spice coffee. It's really good. But yeah, so I have coffee and I drink a huge glass of water. I drink this whole thing. And if we have the little Pedialyte thing, the little things, I'll drink one of those too. So I get like a bunch of electrolytes going. But I notice I feel better after I crush a huge water first thing in the morning. So that's that. And then I don't actually have, my morning routine doesn't start right then. It's a little different than most people, but from about 4:45 till 7 a.m., I complete my most important task for the day. So whatever, big project I'm working on, whatever that is, that's what I'm working on from 4:45 to 7 a.m. Then 7 a.m., I do breakfast and I journal. So I'll sit in the kitchen away from my office, and I'll spend time with Carmela and Rose if they're awake. And I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll sit out back and I'll do my journaling for about 10 minutes. And that's where I put everything underneath it. I write down my current focus for the day. I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I write down the vision, which is really simple for me. It's like 3 words. How it makes me feel and experiences from it. So that's kind of how my journal goes. I do that from 7 to 7:30. So that's my morning routine. By 7:30, I'm done. It's kind of broken into two segments. You obviously don't have to do it this way, but that's what I found to make it really simple. And then the end of the day is there's 3 things that I write down in the same journal, and that's what was my best part of the day, one thing I learned, and one thing I'm grateful for. And I found this to be really, really powerful, really, really helpful. And it's not like, oh my God, paralyzing. It's just, I just keep it really simple. And whatever, like the journaling part, especially, whatever flows. And I find that I'm so much more productive in the day. I used to wake up and I'd be like into tasks so fast. Like that what I do from 4:45 to 7 a.m. is not a task I just make up that morning. It's something that's pre-planned the night before. So I don't need to go through my emails. I don't need to go through all my to-dos. I just literally jump right into that project, and that's it. Like, I'm not in social media. I don't even touch social media till after breakfast. Like, literally. Emails, nope. Tasks, nope. None of that. And I found it so much more liberating. That 5:45 to 7 a.m., I usually get my toughest project of the day over with, and then the rest of the day is already pre-planned, but I'm just cranking away. So I found this to be really, really helpful, especially the focus in the next play. So that is the daily routine. So feel free to do with it as you please. Use it, modify it, but I want you to make yours. And so that's my challenge for you this week, is to create your morning routine in 3 categories, and start with just one mental morning, 1 emotional morning, and 1 physical morning. That's it. And you could space them out. You can put them together. It doesn't really matter, right? And then just write down the 1 thing you can do in each. And then over time, you'll start to learn, like, oh, you know what? I like to get up earlier, or I like to do it this way, or I want to. And you'll get it better and better, but you'll start your morning with you. You'll start your morning focusing on you, and you're in control. Not your colleagues aren't in control, your boss isn't in control, your spouse isn't in control, your kids aren't in control. You're in control. And that's the most powerful of all of this, is that you're in control. I want you to wake up every single day knowing that you're in control and not anybody else. So my challenge for you is to create your morning routine in the 3 categories: mentally, emotionally, and physically, and just write down 1 in each category and execute it for the next 7 days. And watch, you'll make adjustments, you'll make it better, you'll do this, you'll do that, and you'll see how much more powerful it is for you. So as always, take relentless action on this challenge, and let's go and do it. let's go and do it. At the beginning, for some of you that came late, we are switching to Zoom starting next week. So we'll be switching to the Zoom platform to make it a little bit more easy for everybody to be a part of this. So this week, it's about, of course, taking relentless action. Take relentless action on the challenge. Start today. Wherever you're at right now, start writing down what you're going to do tomorrow morning. 3 categories: mentally, physically, emotionally. What's one thing you can do in each of those? And start your day with you being in control. For the rest, but just for the next 7 days, tomorrow, I want you to wake up in control. You're in control of your day. You're in control of the way you feel. You're in control of your life. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your boss, not your colleagues, not your teammates, nobody. You're in control. And watch how much better you feel throughout the day. It's such a different experience, and I think you're really, really, really going to enjoy the amount of control that you have in your life. So it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you all so much for being here today. It is Monday, September 27th. Honor and pleasure to have you here today. Go out and have yourself an amazing week. And for all of you, I'll see you on our group coaching call on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Next Play podcast. If you liked the show, make sure to leave us a review. For more resources, visit relentlessuniversity.com or download the free Relentless University app. And if you're interested in having me speak at your next event, visit relentlessrichie.com. Until next time.